All right, guys, we're going to get into spoilers now. So if you haven't seen the film, get on out of here. I mean, the biggest spoiler of this is the Lovecraft.
It's a Cthulhu origin story, yeah, which I was chuffed. That's, of course, the moment I was just referencing.
Insane, dude.
Yeah, I
did not expect that.
No, didn't see it coming, but as soon as it happened, you're like, this makes so much sense.
Yes. Is there? Have we ever seen Cthulhu? I can't. Cthulhu is obviously the Lovecraft creature from At the Mountains of Madness and another number of other
one
pieces.
Of the old gods, terror beyond sanity.
Yeah, that was so well done, and it was clearly Cthulhu. It wasn't like, oh, it's some giant squid monster. It's like, that's fucking Cthulhu.
Yeah, like I'm sure the filmmakers would be like, it's whatever you think it is. But yeah, it was just such a big Cthulhu monster. Yeah. Just so good to see.
The monsters in general are really well done. And I loved how Cthulhu turns up and there's no this is what the monsters are doing and this is their play. It's like, no, I know exactly what's going on. You don't need to tell me any more other than that dude appearing.
Yeah, as a counterpoint to Godzilla, King of the Monsters, which I quite enjoyed, but that movie was like exposition city. Everything was explained. This movie doesn't bother at all. Yeah. There's creatures and there's more creatures and it's like, there's a fucking giant creature. And we're going to kind of stop that from you really get the sense this thing's coming up and it's going to destroy the world. Yeah. It's going to be king. Yeah.
He's coming.
So very cool to see. How did you feel about the resolution and everything? I loved the kind of surprise, well, not surprise, not even twist necessarily, but just how the character who, what I was alluding to before is it was a character who very clearly was going to crack at some point in the movie, go crazy and just not be able to handle the pressure, so to speak. But she ends up kind of rallying and saving the lead by the end.
Yeah.
And then, of course, her and her guy get kind of saved and Kristen Stewart stays behind.
I thought, you know what I loved about this movie, and I couldn't really say it in the non-spoiler, but it's a story about humanity's kindness for one another, because there's no member of this team that's deceptive or, in all these movies, there's he locks them out or, they can't get through or, the darkness of humanity is as bad as the monster in the cupboard.
Yeah, every character in this movie does some level of sacrifice for someone else.
I loved that, man. And I think that was just a really cool message to put in this film.
Yeah, I didn't really peg on that, but that's so apparent now that you mention it.
I loved that, and it made me love the film even more because I was like, oh, we're going to go on the standoff, and it's going to be Kristen Stewart left all alone, and it didn't go down that path. And for a film that was very derivative, I thought that ending was quite sophisticated and felt new and fresh,
unusually optimistic. There was a lot of slow-mo in this movie.
Was it?
In various parts, yeah, just kind of brief moments of it. I absolutely loved it. There's a part in the beginning where just after they lock off the section that's flooding, the place explodes, and Kristen Stewart just gets thrown across the ground on her elbow, upside down. Yes. It looks so cool.
I was thinking, how did they shoot that? They must have hung her there, and who knows? That was a very cool shot.
Yeah, you used the word sophisticated just then. I thought a lot of this, just from a technical level, was surprisingly sophisticated.
I love that. My favorite scene in this, probably even more than the Cthulhu bit, was when they first see the monster and he just darts out of the light.
Yeah.
And I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
I love those moments.
Very Descent, and just really creepy. I love the way that, before they really kind of show you the creatures, you're just getting their cat reflective eyes kind of darting around in the darkness. Yeah. And then when we finally get, I think it's a really great scene, which kind of reminded me of I Am Legend a bit as well, but where they have to walk through a little seaweed forest of all their appendages hanging down and just trying not to wake them. So cool. And then, of course, one tries to eat Kristen Stewart by swallowing her whole.
So cool.
Really cool reveal. These creatures, they're already kind of creepy, and then you see they're a bit more, and it's the design kind of holds up. It looks cool. But then they have that next level thing, which is unhinging jaw and whatever. It's awesome.
And we saw the trailer and the creature design could have fallen apart. And I felt the full reveal, it was successful.
Yeah.
And oftentimes it isn't. What else? What else in this?
Not to kind of restate the same point, but I thought all of the the character stuff, which I'm surprised people are highlighting because I thought it was really kind of subtly woven into the film. Like maybe a little on the nose here and there, but like TJ Miller has his little toy rabbit or whatever that he keeps around, and you don't need to know why or what it is. It just humanizes him to some degree.
Yes.
Vincent Cassell, they talk about his daughter just in little bits and pieces that don't feel too much like they're alluding to anything important, but then you find out at the end that she's been dead this whole time.
Yeah, Christian Stewart goes, "Oh, she must be our age."
Yeah.
And he doesn't say anything, and then you realize, oh, she died.
Yeah, she has that little memorial thing. And she has her dog tags through the whole movie. And it never really like beats you over the head. Like, she had she mentioned her fiance who died, but you can kind of pick it all up the whole way naturally.
Yeah, I completely agree, man. I think you said it really well there. And that Vincent Cassell one, it was like, these are people. It really felt like, oh, fuck. Man. That was an interesting little beat to put in there. Hey, Diesel, what are you doing, boy?
Yeah, so I think this is one that I'm just going to like more over time, which is impressive for a movie like this.
I think this could end up in my best of
2017.
Middle of the year. 2017.
Yeah.
Middle of the year, I think this could definitely get on my top. I really enjoyed this.
Yeah, awesome. I'm glad you liked it too.
And it really made me want to watch Twilight. Because I've never seen Twilight.
Yeah.
Never seen any of those movies.
Yeah. I'll give you a list of really good Kristen Stewart movies.
And Equals, the one that our friend Tom Stokes was in. Would love to see that. And there was one that you watched.
Personal Shopper. I watched last year. Really interesting movie.
Really keen to check that out.
Yeah.
So guys, that's the most reasonable underwater review on the internet. No clickbait in these waters. What did you guys think of Underwater? Are you going to go see it? Are you not going to go see it? Were we right? Were we wrong? Were we somewhere in the middle? I don't know. You got to tell us, all right? So let us know in the comments. And I'm glad we enjoyed that one, man. I was thinking like sometimes those movies that really getting beaten over the head, I'm always kind of vouching for them, and I'm like, I hope I like this so that I can just tell everyone that I like it and piss them off. So it's always just like a personal win for me with these ones.
Yeah, nice.
And we'll be reviewing something next week. Maybe Doolittle.
If we can brave that fucking movie.
Maybe not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to be tough. But we'll be back for a weekly show next week. Hit us up on Instagram, Facebook, all the channels. And it's been a pleasure, Ben.
As always.
See you soon.
Bye.
Bye.